the charity stripe, 43%. On the other side of the coin, Mountain Crest is 12 of 30 from the floor, 40%. 1 of 3 from the foul line, 33%. But Mountain Crest has out-rebounded Skyview 18 to 12. Of those 18 rebounds, Mountain Crest has 6 on the offensive glass with 2 second chance points. The big key in the first half is the 15 turnovers of the Skyview Bobcats as opposed to 8 for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. And I think that really tells the tale because Skyview has only taken 18 shots in the first half to Mountain Crest 30, and that's because of the 15 turnovers. Individually for the Bobcats, Trevor Stokes has got 4 points on 2 of 5, but he's 0 of 4 from the foul line. Brendan Birmingham has 3 points, and Chris Randall, who's been the big gun for the Bobcats, has 10 of their 17 points in the first half on 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. But here's the tell for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. Skyview has held Tony Brown to 4 points. Now when you hold Tony Brown to 4 points, you expect to be the 27-17 lead, not 27-17 behind. But the reason that has been changed is because Chris Howe has 8 points tonight on 3 of 5 shooting from the field, and he's got 9 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. So Tony Brown with 4 points, Paul Thatcher with 4 points, Tim Jessup with 5, Kyle Berry with 4, and Chris Howe with 8, and Paul Saunders with 2. So Chris Howe has been the big gun offensively. So you can see Tony Brown maybe bothered a little by the pulled growing, but he's distributing the ball. He's got 4 assists and 3 rebounds and only 4 points.
Well, you look at the rebounds, as you mentioned, 18 of 12 with 6 offensive. They have an edge of 6 rebounds for Mountain Crest. But the big thing that I see is the 15 turnovers.
That's correct. And when you turn the ball over that many times, it's going to limit your shot opportunities on the offensive end and give Mountain Crest some quick transition buckets. And to go into those transition buckets, Mountain Crest has 14 points in the paint and 4 fast break points. So that's the tale. Mountain Crest has done a great job in the paint, scoring on in the 5 and 8 foot jumpers after those turnovers, getting the ball down court and getting that early offense going for their early offense. And again, Chris Howe has done a great job for the Mustangs offensively.
Very, very true. Well, let's see if we can sneak one more break in, and we'll be back with the second half of action, as well as a look at what the second half will hold for you. So make sure that you stay tuned to Channel 12.
His phone's taken.
Son, will this help you?
Maybe the last thing you would do for somebody should be the first.
Thanks. Hey, I appreciate it.
A message from the Credit Union Foundation and your hometown credit union.
I work for Lens Audio and Video. I'm the car audio manager. And we use Great Basin Graphics to design our t-shirts. We've been doing some t-shirts this summer. We're going to introduce one with Woofer Dog on it and a couple different designs that Great Basin has come up with for us. And they've been really good to work with and been very professional in the things that they do. And they have great quality t-shirts. We've been very impressed with the things that they have produced for us.
Welcome back to what will soon be the start of the second half of action here at Bobcat Gymnasium. 27-17, the halftime score. And Mike, obviously the very first thing that Skyview has to change is the turnover.
Yeah, and Skyview's got to do a much better job on the rebounding, too. You cannot allow Mountain Crest to out-rebound you at home. You should never be out-rebounded, especially at home, and turn the ball over as many times. Skyview, in order to stay in this ball game, has to do 2 things very well here in the second half, Dave. I think, number one, they've got to find a way to get some points in the paint. They've got to find a way to crack that defense of the Mountain Crest Mustangs and get some easy buckets and open up the outside for Chris Randall, Ben Randall, and Trevor Stokes. And I think Mountain Crest, on the other hand, has got to continue to do the defensive strategy that they came in with in the first half and deflect the balls, because Mountain Crest has really extended that offense almost to half court on the guard line because they've pushed the guards of the Bobcats way out.
and that zone defense is working. We anticipated a man-to-man defense for both of these teams, and Mountain Crest, though still playing with a lot of pressure, has gone to a 2-3 float.
Yeah, they really have, and they've done a good job with it. And again, I mentioned Tony Brown has been shut down, but Tony Brown also has only taken 6 shots.
He's got 4 points.
And he's got 4 points. So Tony Brown, that tells me he's distributed the ball well. And maybe that's a decoy in the first half, and maybe Tony will start lighting it up here in the second. You've got to think, though, here in Bobcat Gym, that the tide could turn quickly on Mountain Crest if they don't be real careful, because you've got the 6th man. But you know, looking at this gym, Dave, I think there's as many Mountain Crest fans as Skyview, so I don't know who the 6th man really can go to.
It is absolutely packed, and like you say, there's a lot of the Mountain Crest student body and Mountain Crest parents and you know, the people who live in the Mountain Crest School District. You know, I think one of the keys for Skyview is I think it's smart that they're trying to get inside penetration to Brennan Birmingham. What is also causing the turnovers is them trying to get there, and that's the problem. And yet, you know, if they stay with it, they can score a lot of points awfully quickly on the strength of Birmingham, Stokes, and both of the Randall brothers.
That's correct, and I think one thing for the Mountain Crest Mustangs here in the second half, Mountain Crest, I think, has got to continue to distribute the ball and continue to score points from all sides, from the paint, from the outside, and continue to get the second chance points. Mountain Crest has got to be careful not to come out here. You knew Mountain Crest would come out with a lot of feeling in the first half after losing to Box Elder, right, because they have a lot of pride. They're going to continue to do that. Skyview's got to get in the face and create some turnovers and get some easy buckets and get back in this ball game to have a chance to win this.
Well, we're ready for the second half of play. They did have the clock down to 0. Then they put another 2 minutes on, and now it is reset for the 8 minutes for the third quarter of play. And the referee blows the whistle. We're ready for some more ball game. That shot that we took gives you a little bit of the idea of exactly how much these guys are packed in here. There's well, let me put it this way. There's no space. We've filled it all, and it's still occupied here at Bobcat Gymnasium. There's truly a standing room only crowd.
Watch for Skyview to come out here early, Dave, in the second half and try and get the ball in the paint and then try and create some early turnovers defensively.
Well, Mountain Crest begins the second half of play as Barry inbounds to Howell. Skyview continues to play man-to-man. Thatcher with a nice basket. It was well defended by Davis, but Paul Thatcher with just a great shot up and over. Makes it 29-17.
Mountain Crest again in that man-to-man defense that we saw early in the game that really created havoc.
Brennan Birmingham with the nice turnaround shot won't fall. Howell gets the rebound.
And Dave, Birmingham has really struggled. He's now 1 of 6 from the field, and I think you got to credit the inside defense of the Mustangs for that.
Good defense by Birmingham, but I think he's going to be called with the foul. That would be Brennan Birmingham's second foul of the game. Mike, you know, that last shot he took, everything was right. They got the ball to him in time, made a good move to the basket. He followed through, did everything but go in.
Yeah, he just needs to learn to kiss it off the glass up there a little higher. He couldn't get the ball up high enough off the glass.
You know, Papa Kelsey's and Henry's has joined us as a great sports booster here. Their pizzas and subs located at 661 North Main. Now, if you're hungry, let me offer a couple of suggestions to you. Maybe their veggie sub with olives, peppers, onions, mushrooms, fresh tomatoes, cheese, and mayo. Or how about the Italian combo with several different types of cheeses, ham, salami, sausage, green peppers, onions, mushrooms, fresh tomatoes, and mayo. And it's all made in the bread and crust we can trust. Papa Kelsey's and Henry's. Make a stop by soon. And again, they try to go inside to Birmingham, and another turnover. Brown with the fast break pass to Jessup. And Howell gets the offensive rebound to give Mountain Crest another chance at it. Tony Brown sinks it to makes it 32-17 with 6:40 to play. Skyview takes a timeout. It's a full timeout, so we'll take the break and be back after these messages.
There are certain qualities to look for in a print shop.
Like creativity.
Attention to detail.
Having the right equipment.
Trained craftsmen. A large capacity facility.
And the personal touch.
Watkins Printing, the qualities to look for.
And they think we believe this. Hey, today women want a weight loss program that honestly works to improve their image. Help them feel good about themselves inside and out. General Nutrition Centers has it. The 24-hour diet plan. You get a low-calorie meal plan with diet, exercise, and lifestyle tips. Plus, day and night vitamin mineral formulas for a nutritional boost while you're working into a smaller size. The 24-hour diet plan. Hey, it works around the clock to help you look and feel good. Guaranteed. You gotta try it.
Welcome back to the game of the week. After the timeout, Stokes inbounds to Thurgood, and Skyview goes back to work.
Dave, Skyview's got to find a way to get the ball in the hole. 2 minutes almost expired here, and they turn the ball over again.
Jessup with the steal as they tried to go inside. I believe that's to Scablin that they've got in the ball game now, number 53. So Stokes, Thurgood, Scablin, Davis, and Chris Randall. And Paul Thatcher travels. Paul is extremely quick, Mike, but that's the third time tonight we've seen him having some trouble stopping.
Well, and there's a lot of guys out there slipping, almost like the floor's a little slippery out there tonight. And Mountain Crest has done a great job here, Dave, in this game defensively. Just Skyview can't get anything going offensively.
Mountain Crest has Thatcher, Jessup, Brown, Howell, and Berry in, and Scablin gets the first points for Skyview in about 4 minutes of play. Makes it 19-32. 5 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. And Thurgood knocks the ball away, and Scablin comes up with the steal. So a turnover for Mountain Crest. Randall's shot rebounded by Scablin. The foul against Howell. Number 42 for the Mountain Crest Mustangs draws his second foul. Bring the game into focus with the help of Baldwin Optical.
Great job on the glass by Dick Scablin getting in there and getting the offensive position.
TJ Davis's shot. No good. Mountain Crest. Tony Brown with the rebound. 32-19, 5 minutes to play. Lots of air for Tony Brown. It won't fall. Davis fights for it. Howell comes up with it. A lot of action underneath. And this foul is going to be charged to Chris Randall, number 23, for the Skyview Bobcats. That is his second foul of the ball game. 2 team fouls now for Skyview, 1 team foul for Mountain Crest.
Dave, Skyview's had some good looks here in the second half. They're just not falling. Mountain Crest doing a good job. Good job by TJ Davis.
TJ Davis with the block on Howell's three-point attempt. Alley-oop. Too hot for Davis to handle.
That's the 18th turnover of the ball game, Dave, and I know that can't please Coach Turtle Baldwin. They're not taking care of the ball when they have the opportunities for the fast break points.
But I do like their aggressiveness with trying to move the ball that quickly down the court.
And again, it's Mountain Crest transition defense that causes that.
Brown, easy turnaround jumper over Thurgood. Makes it 34-19, and Mountain Crest begins to walk away a bit. They go inside to Scablin. Jessup knocks it away. Scablin inside again. Off-balance shot rebounded by Howell. Chris Howell continues to make his presence felt on the offensive and defensive boards. Brown for 3. The attempt no good. Foul goes to Brandon Thurgood, number 12, his second of the ball game. 3 team fouls now for the Skyview Bobcats. Tony Brown will be at the line shooting 3.
Yeah, and a bad foul by Brandon Thurgood. You got to credit him. He's playing tough on Tony Brown, trying to get into his face, but he just couldn't get there, and the official saw the hack on the arm.
Davis Chrysler Dodge Country is your hometown Dodge dealer, where they invite you to come in and see the all-new Chrysler Concord and Dodge Intrepid for 1998. or you could drive the new Dodge Durango, the Peterson 4x4 Sport Utility of the Year. They got closeouts on the 97 LHS as well. That's $5,000 off Chrysler's most luxurious car. Davis Chrysler Dodge at 2900 North Main. Buy with confidence from the people you can trust. Well, Mike, a 17-point lead now for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. And one of the things that makes this such a difficult game against the Mustangs, no matter the caliber of your team, even a very confident team like Skyview, is their defense is so good that once you get down, it's extremely difficult to get back into the ballgame.
That's correct, but three-pointers like that by Ben Randall will do it very quickly if Mountain Crest isn't careful.
Tony Brown for three. Rebounded by Winger. Foul underneath will probably be charged to Paul Saunders. Yes, Paul Saunders, number 24, draws the foul, his first foul. Three team fouls now for each team. Mountain Crest has Saunders, Jessup, Brown, Howell, and Thatcher into the ball game. Skyview with Thurgood, Winger, Stokes, Scablin, and Ben Randall. And they go into Winger. Makes a nice move and is fouled from behind by Chris Howell, who just drew his third foul.
Great job there by Winger, just fighting the position, sealing off with the off arm and getting around Chris Howell and drawing the foul.
Adam Winger shooting two. Checking into the ball game, number 32, Travis Baldwin. And that will put Tim Jessup on the bench. So Mountain Crest now with the quick lineup in there. You know, Mandarin Garden offers the finest in Mandarin Chinese cuisine with great dining for lunch or dinner. And Bruce Alsop insulation. You know, with cellulose insulation, you get a higher R value and it's safer without the health problems associated with fiberglass. Two great sports boosters here on Channel 12. 23-37, 14-point lead now for the Mustangs with 3:20 to play in the third, and a steal by Thurgood. Mountain Crest back quick, however, on the defense.
Great transition defense by the Mustangs, and that's why Skyview has had a hard time scoring in the ball game.
Randall out to Thurgood. Three-pointer, no good. Scablin with a beautiful rebound, and he switches and goes with the offhand. Beautiful move under the basket, 25-37. And the Skyview faithful were already on their feet, but that made them sing it loud. Howell looks off the three. It's a nice drive into the paint by Baldwin.
Yeah, Skyview with 6 unanswered points now gets lead back down to 12 of the Mustangs.
Paul Saunders working against Winger. Out to Howell for three, and it's good. 40-25. 2:21 to play in the third. Mountain Crest in command. They're looking inside to Scablin again. That foul is going to be called against Travis Baldwin, number 32, for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. His first. 5 team fouls now for the Mustangs. Tim Jessup checks back in for Chris Howell. Skyview to inbound the ball. 2:05 to play in the third. 15-point lead for the Mustangs.
That 15-point lead has been built because of the defense of the Mustangs. They've done a great job on the transition and on the half-court defense.
That foul against Baldwin again. Number 32 draws 2 fouls just as quick as you can call them. As he reached in on Stokes, 6 team fouls now for the Mustangs. Here's the game brought into focus with the help of Baldwin Optical, and you can see Baldwin reached in and pushed against the chest of Trevor Stokes. Nick Scablin making his presence felt. Still can't pull it in. Whistle on the play. Foul goes against Ben Randall, number 42 for Skyview. Well, no, they call it against Winger, number 44, his first foul of the ball game. 2-on-1 fast break makes it an easy basket for Tim Jessup. Minute 29 to play in the third, 42-25. The lead for Mountain Crest.
Mountain Crest doing a tremendous job defensively.
Ben Randall for three. Makes it 28-42 with a minute to play in the third. Tony Brown working against Trevor Stokes. Skyview playing man-to-man. Paul Thatcher just extremely quick. Shot won't fall. Rebounded by Thurgood. 3 players on the floor. And a Skyview Bobcat very injured at this end, and the referee's letting play continue. And that is Ben Randall, who's in agony on the play. He had 2 Mountain Crest Mustangs land right on top of him. The basket, I'm not sure if they'll let the basket stand because Skyview made it.
In the transition, you cannot call the timeout until the transition is finished.
Now here you see them crash. Randall's down there, gets kicked in the back of the head, and then has Tim Jessup, step right on his stomach and then fall across him. So I don't think it's a serious injury, but obviously you're going to be severely out of wind.
Paul Thatcher got away with an offensive foul on that end of the floor too when he went in and put the shot up.
Ben Randall walking off the court under his own power. That's good to see. You never want to see anyone injured. 38 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 12-point game, favor of the Mustangs, 42-30. You know, AirTouch Cellular offers you cellular service that covers all of Utah and southern Idaho, and they offer caller ID on your analog phone. See your local dealer for all of the details. And Jensen's on Airport Road. Their electronic diagnostic equipment talks to any car, just like the dealer, but for less money. Nice pass to Saunders. He gets the basket, and Adam Winger, number 44 for the Bobcats, gets the foul, his second. 5 team fouls now for each team. Here's the replay.
Mountain Crest doing a great job breaking that trap of the Bobcats, that great pressure of the Bobcats, and they get that, and they're just making that extra pass to get the easy bucket.
Well, Saunders gets to see if he can add a point here. No good. Rebounded by Winger. 25 seconds to play in the third. 14-point lead for the Mustangs. Thatcher meets Thurgood at half court. Skyview playing for the final shot, down to 10 seconds. Down to 4. Now 3. Stokes for 3. Off balance, no good. And your third quarter score ends 44-30. We're back with the final 8 minutes after this. Welcome back to the Game of the Week here on Channel 12. We're ready for the fourth and final quarter of action. We appreciate you tuning in to a highly touted ball game here on Channel 12. 44-30 the score. 14-point lead for the Mustangs here on the Bobcats' home floor. Stokes will inbound to Thurgood to start the final quarter. Paul Thatcher kicks the ball. Skyview will maintain the possession. Chris Randall sits down. Ben Randall checks back in. So to start this final quarter of action, the Bobcats have Ben Randall, Nick Scabland, Adam Winger, Trevor Stokes, and Brandon Thurgood. The Skyview, or the Mountain Crest Mustangs, have Tony Brown, Paul Thatcher, Chris Howell, Tim Jessup, and Kyle Berry. Even with a 12-point lead, their starters remain in the game. Skyview working the perimeter, unable to get any penetration. Three-pointer won't go down. Howell had the rebound. They called the foul against Adam Winger for Skyview, number 44, his third. Here's the game brought into focus with help of Baldwin Optical, and you can see the push-off underneath that they call against Winger. Tony Brown gets a defender in the air and then makes the easy basket. Down to 7 minutes, 10 seconds to play. 16-point lead for the Mustangs. They try to go inside, and once again it's stolen, this time by Howell. And another turnover for the Skyview Bobcats. That has been their nemesis this entire evening. Tony Brown with a nice assist to Tim Jessup. Makes it 48-30. It's all Mountain Crest. Stokes waves off the three and then drives for the layup. Nice move. Tony Brown has the hot hand. He has not scored a lot of points so far in the ball game, but he's changing that as we speak. 50-32, 18-point lead, 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the ball game. Stokes with another nice move. Basket won't go down, but he'll get a chance at the free throw line as they call the foul against Tim Jessup, his third of the ball game. You see him reach in right there on the instant replay.
And a good call by the official. Trevor Stokes trying to make something happen offensively for the Bobcats, trailing by 18.
Well, Mike, we have a 20-second timeout. What statistics do you have for us?
For the Mountain Crest Mustangs, third quarter cumulative statistics, 43% shooting on 18 of 42 from the field, 56% from the free throw line, 5 of 9. They have 25 rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass, and they have 11 turnovers and 8 assists. But the key is they have 16 points in the paint, and Skyview only has 8 points in the paint. Skyview is 35% shooting on 11 of 31, 44% from the line on 4 of 9, 18 total rebounds, 18 turnovers. That's the big key, the 18 turnovers on the Bobcats.
Well, they originally signaled a 20-second timeout, then extended it to the full minute, which gives us an opportunity to tell you about Watkins Printing, where they have the qualities to look for in a print shop and a brand new location. They moved. You need to stop by their new location at 110 West, 12th South in Logan, where they have a 25,000 square foot facility dedicated as the finest printing place in Utah. You throw in that experienced staff, the latest equipment, and now lots of space, and it's Watkins Printing when it really matters. 6 minutes, 6 seconds to play in the ball game, and Trevor Stokes, shooting 2 at the line, has a chance to help his team. A much needed opportunity for the Skyview Bobcats as they trail by 18, 32-50.
And much needed for Trevor Stokes, who is 0 for 4 on the night, now 0 for 5.
You know, Papa Kelsey's and Henry's has great food right at 661 North Main. They're there in Logan. 752-3525 is the number. And why is that important? Well, simply because if your office or your family or you want lunch in a hurry, you can call ahead and let them prepare one of their great subs for you, or maybe one of their specials, like the Papa Kelsey special with ham, sausage, black olives, green peppers, mushrooms, and onions. It's a great pizza. The large is only $14.95. Or how about Henry's Yummy Delight with pepperoni, mushrooms, Canadian-style bacon, and green peppers? Give them a call, 752-3525. They'll have it ready for you. Papa Kelsey's and Henry's.
Mount Crest defense, again, a key.
Three-pointer by Trevor Stokes, and You know, Mike, I would think that at this point in the ball game, even though Trevor Stokes' role this year has not been to be the leading scorer, I would think that trailing by 14 points, he needs to step up a lot right now.
Trevor's got to take the ball to the hole. He's got to take the authority out there and become the leader on the floor for the Skyview Bobcats. Mount Crest doing a great job not taking garbage shots.
Backcourt violation by Paul Thatcher. That's a turnover. And Mountain Crest with what for them has been a rare turnover this half.
That's 13 on the ball game, only 5 in the second half.
Here's the replay. You see Thatcher touches it just before it crosses half court, so it's a very good call by the referee. Scramble underneath, finally pulled down by Kyle Berry. 5 minutes to play in the ball game, 14-point lead for the Mustangs. An all-important game as both of these teams are 9-1 in region play. And the way they've got the brackets this year. Now, Mike, I'm going to want to see this one on the instant replay, because if that's a foul against Nick Scablin, it looked like he might have been there in time.
Well, I think Nick
Let's
kind of moved
bring
one
the game
side
into
of his
focus with
body.
help of Baldwin Optical.
It's because he's still moving, and that's why the official called it.
You're right. Good call by
and
the
you
referee.
were talking about the brackets, Dave. The brackets this year, the second and third place teams in this region are in the same bracket with Provo and Olympus.
Right, plus they have to travel. Now, you know, I would think that this region, any region, but this region especially, where it is the toughest region in the state, that at least the first and second place teams ought to stay home and alternate the third place traveling. But instead, the only one who stays home is the first place team. And as you say, they're in the upper bracket, and that lower bracket's going to be a lot tougher. So that's on the line as well as the region championship tonight. 52-36. The score, Randall's shot rebounded by Trevor Stokes. Puts it back up, and the foul can go against Berry, Brown, or Jessup. Let's see who they call for it. Kyle Berry, number 43. Here's the replay.
Great rebound by Trevor Stokes. Goes up, and I'm not sure. I don't see a foul there. He didn't get him. That's 4 fouls on Kyle Berry.
Trevor Stokes gets to shoot 2, and we have an opportunity to let you know that General Nutrition Center has creatine. Now that builds muscle without adding fat. As an amino acid, it also gives you great energy so that when you work out, you can lift more, lift longer, and avoid soreness the next day. It's great for men and women. Creatine at GNC is also available in capsule, chewable, and powder form, so you can add this supplement to your healthy diet very easily. GNC on the corner of 1400 North and 200 East. They invite you to live well. Well, Trevor continues to struggle at the free throw line, Mike.
Yeah, he really has, Dave. He's 2 of 8 on the night, and I'm not sure what to attribute that to. And that's a bad call by the official. Chris Randall was moving on the play, Dave, and you're going to see on the replay, he steps in front of him, but Tony Brown pushes off with the off arm, and that's where the contact is created.
Well, it did look like he pushed off. So 4:25 to play. Tony Brown shooting 1 and 1.
But Dave, great players make great plays.
That's true.
And great players know how to get that isolation on the player like that and get it. And Tony Brown is 84% on the year from the foul line.
So 4:20 to play. 54-37. Skyview struggling offensively. And this Mountain Crest defense gives you no easy points. You fight for every one of them. And Chris Randall turns the ball over out of bounds.
And you mentioned it, Dave. The defense of the Mountain Crest Mustangs has been huge tonight. They have just made every shot opportunity for the Bobcats immensely tough.
Well, we saw them do the same thing against Weber. Get a 16-point lead, and you just can't battle back from that. Then you play the full court pressure defense and give up the easy layup baskets when you don't transition your defense quickly enough. Randall called for the charge. Ben Randall, number 42, for the Skyview Bobcats, picks up his first foul of the ball game. 19 fouls now for the Bobcats, 7 for the, or 9 for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, 7 for the Skyview Bobcats. 22nd timeout on the floor. Now, Mike, you know, we've talked a lot about the Mountain Crest defense. One of the things that I think people at home need to understand, Skyview is an extremely talented team. We're just seeing an exceptional defensive effort by the Mustangs.
And you can see Mountain Crest came out here tonight to play and to prove a point. They wanted to go undefeated in the region this year. When they stubbed their toe against Box Elder, it really upset them, and they wanted to come and prove a point here tonight.
Do you think this would have been an easier ball game for Skyview to win if Mountain Crest hadn't had the Box Elder loss?
I don't know that it would have been a win for Skyview or an easier game for Skyview, but I think Mountain Crest came out more determined after a loss. They always historically have played better after a loss, and I think they came out more determined and more focused to win this basketball game than they may have had they won against Box Elder.
Well, it's a 19-point lead for the Mountain Crest Mustangs with 3:50 to play in the game. And on the court for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, Tim Jessup, Paul Saunders, Paul Thatcher, Tony Brown, and Chris Howe. Returning to the court for the Skyview Bobcats, Nick Scavland, Ben Randall. Out there now, Cash Christensen, Brandon Thurgood, and Chris Randall. Tony Brown's had an absolutely hot hand this fourth quarter of play.
And when the guy's got the shot and is in the zone, go to it and let him put the ball in the hole.
He has been in the groove. Nice drive to the basket by Ben Randall. Offhanded layup makes it 39-58 with 3:15 to play in the game. Now Mountain Crest deliberately slowing the tone of the tempo of the game down to maintain their lead.
Skyview doing a good job not giving up, Dave. Down 19, they could just give up, but they're still out there hustling.
Tony Brown for three that was almost in another zip code.
And that's why we call him downtown Tony Brown.
Three-pointer on this end, no good. Nick Scavland with a beautiful fight for the rebound. He's stripped by Tony Brown. 3-on-1 fast break. Tony Brown gets his own rebound. Puts up an air ball and is rebounded by Nick Scavland, and Brown almost steals it again. Now Tony came to play tonight. 2:24 to play, 61-39 the score. Paul Thatcher hobbling off the court, looks like a twisted ankle, and checking into the ball game for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, 21, Kenny Hatfield, the 5'8" senior guard. Three-pointer, rims out, rebounded Howe. Down to 2:10 to play in the game. Saunders fouled by Thurgood. Number 12 for the Skyview Bobcats draws his third foul. Here's the game brought into focus with the help of Baldwin Optical.
Yeah, that's obvious there. Thurgood doing a good job, still hustling out there, trying to get the turnovers, but it just isn't happening.
Well, you know, the car connection, when you go see the good guys, you can expect Cache Valley's largest selection of cars, great prices, the ability to work with every type of credit history, and a helpful, friendly staff. Don't expect pushy, high-pressure salespeople and lots of hassle. You won't find it. Their staff is paid on salary, so you get service, not pressure. Go see the good guys at the Car Connection. Well, now we begin the substitutions
I have to really
late in the
question
game.
Something here. You're up 23 points, and you're bringing starters back into the ballgame with 2 minutes to go. I don't know why you're doing that. You need to rest your starters for the rest of your games in the region.
Chris Randall for three, and it goes down. On the court for the Skyview Bobcats now, number 35, Rick Bowman. Also number 32, Cash Christensen. And it's Bowman with the steal. Dishes off to Ben Randall, who takes the three and makes it. 45-62, a minute 40 to play. Tony Brown triple teamed, and Bowman called for the foul and a technical on the play as well. Rick Bowman draws his first foul. I don't know if the technical's against the player or the bench.
It's against the player because he slammed his hands on the floor. And I want to see the replay on that because I'm not sure if Bowman was, yeah, he's moving on the play. But again, Tony Brown is the one drawing the contact, lowering the shoulder. And again, great players make that contact happen and create those fouls.
Well, Bowman with the technical and the foul. Minute 34 to play in the game. 45-62, 17-point lead for the Mustangs. And Tony Brown, who shoots just slightly over 88% from the free throw line, is the man to have there. You know, the Bridgerland Applied Technology Center wants to let you know that with graduation fast approaching, now is the time for you to apply for a full scholarship. Spend 10 months to a year in one of their programs and you'll have a valuable trade or skill for life. You'll be successful, make better money, and be prepared even if you decide to go on to university. A scholarship to the BATC opens the door on your future. Contact your high school counselor today. The Bridgerland Applied Technology Center, employment through training. Well, 65-45, now a 20-point lead for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. Thatcher, Hatfield, Howell, Brown, and Berry on the court for the Mustangs. Scabland, Chris Randall, Ben Randall.
And Brad Lishman, number 40.
Brad Lishman in, and Cash Christensen, number 32. And Ben Randall comes up with a steal. Chris Howell is going to draw the foul for number 42. That's his fourth. And Skyview will get to shoot 1 and 1.
So Randall will shoot 1 and 1.
Well, Ben Randall on the season. See if we can find him here on the stat sheet that Skyview is kind enough to provide us. On free throws is shooting 72%. Tony Brown with the rebound. Minute 20 to play. 20-point lead for the Mustangs. Now, is that called against Ben Randall, number 42? It is for Skyview. That's Ben Randall's second personal. Tony continues to shine at the line. Well, this standing room only crowd has been treated to an exceptional offensive effort by the Mountain Crest Mustangs, Mike.
Yeah, they really have, and a great defensive effort that has created the offense for the Mustangs.
Three-pointer by Chris Randall, no good. Kyle Berry with the rebound. 59 seconds to play. Tony Brown offhands it. It won't go. Berry's there for the rebound. Goes off Cash Christensen. Mountain Crest ball. 49 seconds to play. 22-point game for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. 45-67. And now a wholesale substitution with 50 seconds left to play. And the Mountain Crest starters come off to a standing ovation with from the many fans that are here at Bobcat Gymnasium. 25, Brett Hatfield is out there for the Mustangs, as is 50, Ryan Jessup. 24, Paul Saunders. Number 41, Micah Nielsen. And number 32, Travis Baldwin. Skyview also makes a entire team substitution. And you have number 30, Dave Jensen. Number 32, Cash Christensen. Number 40, Brad Leishman. And number 10, Eddie Hutchison. And Paul Saunders makes the three to make it 70-45. As Mountain Crest has controlled this game since the half. Cash Christensen for three. 29 seconds to play. Saunders and Baldwin playing keep away out near half court. 10 seconds. They go inside and it's turned over off the fingertips of number 41, Micah Nielsen. Number 10, Eddie Hutchinson, inbounds to 40, Brad Leishman. Also out there, number 21, Brooks Hansen. And that's Hansen with the ball, but he doesn't get the shot off in time. And your final score, 70-48, Mountain Crest with a dominating win here at Bobcat Gymnasium. We're going to take a break and be back to wrap things up for you after these messages on Channel 12.
Baldwin Optical has D-frames for your family, like Hush Puppies with a free Hush Puppy, Converse with a Converse t-shirt, Laura Ashley for kids, and the new Revolution line with a clip-on sunglass included. Frames, lenses, and warranty for $125 or less. 21 years of experience with exclusive same-day or next-day service. Baldwin Optical in the Cache Valley Mall. See ya!
Welcome back to the Game of the Week here on Channel 12. Along with Mike Plowman, I'm Dave Bennett, thanking you for tuning in. Your final score, 70-48, a 22-point victory for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. And here's how the scoring went by quarters. At the end of the first period of play, it was Mountain Crest 14, Skyview 12. That's the closest it ever was, because at the half, it was Mountain Crest 27, Skyview 17. At the end of 3 quarters of play, it was Mountain Crest 44, Skyview 30, and your final score 48-70, favor of the Mountain Crest Mustangs. For the Mustangs, Travis Baldwin had 2 fouls, as did Tony Brown. Paul Saunders with 1 foul. Chris Howell and Kyle Berry had 4 fouls apiece. Tim Jessup with 3 fouls. Well, the Mustangs improved to 10-1 in region play, 14-3 overall, and their upcoming opponents are Bonneville at home. Then they're on the road for Weber and finish the season with Roy at home a week from Friday. For the Skyview Bobcats, they had Brandon Thurgood with 3 fouls. Chris Randall had 3 as well. Rich Bowman had 1. Ben Randall with 2. Adam Winger with 3. Brennan Birmingham with 2. Nick Scaveland with 1. And T.J. Davis with 1. Their upcoming schedule is a tough one. They're on the road at Box Elder, who's 5th place in the region. Then they're on the road at Bonneville, who is 4th place. And then they round out their season with our next game of the week here at home against Weber on the 20th of February. Well, once again, your final score, 48 for the Bobcats, 70 for the Mustangs. We're going to take one more break and come back with our final statistics after this.
Cut your utility bill in half. Reduce costly heating and cooling bills with revolutionary Mountain Fiber Supertherm insulation from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Mountain Fiber Supertherm is more earth-friendly, fire retardant, and fills in all of the cracks where the pink stuff just won't go. Your family will enjoy the comfort of a home that keeps them warmer during the winter and cooler during the summer. Insulation that pays for itself. A better idea from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Call today for a free estimate.
They service what they sell. In 12 years, I've never had to use any service.
I love this place.
Figure if we're going to buy something, we might as well buy something we'll be happy with for a long time.
Can't find a lot of these products around Logan, and this is the place to get them. Lynn's rules.
Oh, really? I come in here to watch the movies. It's free. They've got Batman. It's surround sound.
I love Brett and Bart. What else do you want me to say? They're always fair.
Well, welcome back to the Game of the Week, and you saw how packed the gymnasium and the stadium, the gymnasium was this evening. A lot of fans on hand for both teams, and they were treated to a good ball game. If you're a Mountain Crest fan, if you're a Skyview fan, you have to feel a little bit disappointed as they had a struggle with rebound. They struggled rebounding the ball, and they struggled with turnovers, and ultimately, that's what would make the difference. And against that exceptional Mountain Crest defense, you just can't do that even when you're a team as talented as the Skyview Bobcats. Well, Mike busy putting some finishing touches on the statistics. one of the things, again, we want to point out for you is not only was this game important regarding the championship of Region 4, but it was extremely important regarding the playoffs. See, the opening round of the playoff games this year, many of those games, or some of those games, are played at home. Now, the only team in Region 4 that gets to play at home is the first place team. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are on the road, and everyone but the first place team in Region 4 drops into what they call the lower bracket, which is also the bracket that contains Olympus and Provo. So you could have Weber, Skyview, Bonneville, Olympus, and Provo all in that lower bracket, and that's going to make that a tough, tough region. Well, Mike, what have you got for us statistically?
All right, Dave. Team statistics tonight. Skyview, and you're going to see why Skyview lost this ball game. Skyview shoots 40%, which is not real bad, but Skyview shoots 40% on 17 of 42 shooting. They shoot 43% from the line on 6 of 14. They had 20 rebounds, 6 assists, and 22 turnovers. So the 22 turnovers are a big key because it gave Mountain Crest a lot of easy buckets. And
plus
on
only
those
43% from the free throw line.
Right, and Mountain Crest had 6 fast break points and 18 points in the paint. Skyview really turned the ball over way too many times tonight to win a big basketball game against a very good basketball team. Mountain Crest team totals 25 of 53, 47%, so a very good percentage, right around 50. 15 of 21 from the line, 71%, so that's right around their average also. They had 32 rebounds to Skyview's 20, so that's a big key when you out-rebound a team by 12. Yeah,
especially when a lot of those are offensive.
Well, they had 9 offensive rebounds, 10 assists, and 16 turnovers. Those 32 rebounds, Dave, here's a big one. There was 11 rebounds by Chris Howell tonight. Or, excuse me, 16 rebounds and 11 points.
Wow.
So Chris Howell really came to play tonight. He had half of Mountain Crest's 32 rebounds. Individually for the Bobcats, Thurgood scores 2 points, Stokes scores 11, Birmingham 3, so that's a big key I talked about before the game. Birmingham had to have a big game, and he didn't, and the score shows it. 1 point tonight for Adam Winger, 13, for Chris Randall, 11 for Ben Randall, 4 for Nick Scablin, and 3 for Cash Christensen.
You've got Mike Gold. I didn't have the voice last week. This week it's you.
Yeah, and I'm fighting it.
We'll let Mike get a swallow of water, see if he can get his voice back here as he finishes the stats.
Okay, let's go to individual totals here for the Mustangs. 10 for Paul Saunders, 11, as again I said, for Chris Howe, 4 for Kyle Berry, 8 for Tim Jessup, 8 for Thatcher, and 27 for Tony Brown.
So some great stats for both for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. And Mike, I know what that cold feels like because I fought it all last week. Well, that's your final wrap-up here. And I'm Dave Bennett with Mike Plowman, thanking you for watching the Game of the Week on Channel 12, where it's been brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness. Never give up. Baldwin Optical, your doctor-recommended optician. By Davis Chrysler Dodge Country. Buy with confidence from the people you can trust. Lynn's Audio and Video, the Cache Valley Audio and Video Specialists. Bear Welding, beautify your home or business with ornamental ironwork. Watkins Printing, with the qualities to look for in a print shop. General Nutrition Center, GNC, live well. The Bridgerland Applied Technology Center, offering employment through training. Cache Country Carpets, the experienced professionals in residential and commercial floor coverings. And by The Car Connection, come see the good guys. But our game next week is going to be the Skyview Bobcats here again at home, taking on the Weber Warriors, trying to salvage their opportunities for state playoff action. We're back after this.
Thin? Get Thin. The new Space Saver Thin line by Proform. No other treadmill is like this. This thin, this sleek, this strong. So when you've reached the finish line folds out of your way. So get Thin. The new Space Saver Thin Line by Proform.
Thin line, motorized to keep you moving, cushioned to keep impact to a minimum, with motivational electronics that keep you on track. For free information or to order your Proform Space Saver Thin Line, call the number on your screen now.
Well, your final score, 70-48, as the Mustangs win by 22. Thanks to our technical crew, our executive producer, Earl Rouse, engineer, Jeff Jacobson, our technical director, Gary Neuenswander. On cameraman, it's Weston Allen and Sean Platt. Graphics, Corey Jacobson. We appreciate the staff here at Skyview High School for their always great help and cooperation. Along with Mike Plowman, I'm Dave Bennett, thanking you for watching the Game of the Week on Cache Valley's television station, Channel 12.
I haven't felt this good